Hey, what's going on YouTube? And welcome to an episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at the in-game news for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, see what's going on this week, see what's coming our way, and talk a little bit about how to get ready for it in terms of like gearing your units with the killer abilities that you can pick up in-game from either Trustmaster rewards, STMRs, or just going after trials and things. Usually it's a fun discussion, but today actually is not that fun of a discussion. And I'm going to go over the news. I'm going to talk about what's going on, and then I'll throw a little other feedback your way because I've got some. So first and foremost, you take a look at the screen and you see. Wow, the game even freezes. Okay, you take a look at the screen and you see that there is actually quite a bit of information on the news panel. And you go and you look and you see there is in fact lots and lots of events and things that are on here, or at least items to read. But it really boils down mainly to two pieces of content. So let's talk about those. The first is a raid event, the Heart of Virn Palace. This is a raid event for Dragonquest, and the enemy that you're gonna be facing is a demon. It's called the Drumbler Gorora, and it has no weaknesses or resistances, and it has only the ability to be broken, attack, and magic. You can afflict it with disease just like you usually can with raid, but you cannot use a defense and spirit break on it. Usually not a big deal. And what's gonna be cool is that this is gonna be the first raid that we have theoretically that has 10 orbs instead of just 5. So we'll be able to farm it more in stuff. If that's your thing, farming is your thing, then cool. There is some cool stuff in the raid box. So and notably the fragments for the units that are on banner this week. Avon, him, and Lahart. So if you're interested in those fragments, you can get them from the raid box, which is kind of cool. Depending on how many there are. Someone told me that you could get, if you get one of the units, you can get them to EX2 just from the raid, which is really nice. There are some killers in the raid. You got some gear for Avon, Avon's clothes anyway. Just farm up a raid. It's a raid. What else is there to say about that, right? And then we've also got the World of Visions event for Dragonquest Dai. Now, if you look on the wiki for this event, you don't actually see it there. There's not an entry for the upcoming one. The only entry that exists for Adventure of Dai World of Visions is the old one that we had like last year. That said, all the enemies that we see, him, Albinos, Sigma, Block, Fenbrin, and Hadler, are all the same enemies that we had on last year's wiki. So if you take a look at last year's entry, all it told us was that we needed Stone, Beast, and Demon Killer, and then the weaknesses were Light, Fire, Ice, Wind, and Lightning. So you can kind of put together teams that do those things, and you'll just generally need Stone, Beast, and Demon Killer for those enemies, assuming that they have not changed the races or adjusted anything in any way. Who knows if they have or not? Sometimes tricky things happen. But all the gear is honestly the same too. This is a shared rank 1 theoretically. 1 to 1,000, I'll get 10,000 Lapis. So good luck. Hopefully this will work well for you. All the gear seems to be the same. Gear for Crocodile, Dark Armor, Spear Armor, Mirror of Shahal, all this stuff. These are actually getting adjusted, but they are still there to be earned as rewards and crafted, which is cool ish. But you're just going to take farming teams and farm it all up, and that's pretty much it. So there's another confirmation that drops all the same things. These are all the same enemies that we fought last time. I assume they're just maybe more difficult or buffed up a little bit or something. But who knows? Maybe difficult, maybe not. But we'll see. But we know we need Stone, Beast, and Demon Killers. And there you go. So the units that you can get are on here. You can get Avon, him, and Lahart. I don't have a whole lot to say about these because I never played the JP version, but I know that Avon is supposedly a pretty good breaker. Him's a damage dealer for light, and Lahart is a wind damage dealer. Cool. And you can theoretically get these units from free daily 5 summons. Now, from the the time period, 11.2 to 11.22, that's 20 days of 5 summons. So 5 times 20 is 100. With a 5% Neo rate, you theoretically should see 5 Neo Visions drop. And other limited time and collabs other than select Adventure of Dai units are not included in the pool. So select ones will be, but select ones won't be as well. And the like I said, Envy is 5%, so you should see 5. Theoretically, you could get one of the Dragon Quest units off of this, and then you could get their raid fragments from the raid summon box and get them to EX2 or whatever. Theoretically, is what I was told by somebody. So that might be an alternative to pulling. In addition to that, we're going to get some of these gems from logging in, to get a free Adventure of Dai unit. My personal choice, if I was going to get one, would be Dai himself. I would like to get a copy of Dai or Hyunkel, one of those two. But we'll see. And there's some other kind of step ups and banners and bonuses and updates to units that are not really updates to units, which is super exciting. And some miscellaneous updates that are not really updates. And this weird login, the login bonus is fine. You get fragments and stuff. This other login bonus is pretty cool. Where is it? The Adventure of Dai login bonus gives you the gems. It gives you a copy of Beast King Crocodile. A player voice Lapis replica. Power Cut, if you've never gotten, is a really decent tank card. So good to pick up. Lots of goodies. Summon ticket bees. Lots of good things. So make sure you log in every day just to get the rewards, even if you don't want to play the event. Just get the rewards. And there you go. So lots of interesting stuff happening there. We are also, just the way it is. We are getting a story update. They show that here as well. Where is it? The story continues. We are getting another season 4 chapter, part 3. Go get you some Lapis. That's cool. But as far as killers go that we know we need Beast, Stone, and Demon. So let's talk a little bit about how you can pick those up. For Beast Killer, you can get Beast Killer from Scorn of Aemon. Artemis Bow gives it if you want a bow. True Murasame if you want a katana. Rafflesia can give a recipe for Beast Eater and Beast Eater Sense. Cerberus can give a recipe for Beast Killer Plus. Rafflesia doesn't give a recipe for Beast Eater Sense. Rafflesia just gives you Beast Eater Sense. Cerberus gives you the craftable recipe for Beast Killer. But also big ones are Valued Memories from Urban, Infernal Battle Garb, Vortex of the Past, and Hatred from A2. If you've got it. So there's lots and lots of sources of Beast Killer. Stone is a little less common. Here's Stone. You could go to Stroper, which is really, really easy. Stone Eater Sense from Archeo Avis, also really, really easy. Some armors like the Darksteel Destroyer and the Darksteel Heavy Armor. Demon Axe, Weapon Specialist from Wild Rose Furion, Scanning Goggles, Storm Bunny Jacket. Lots of good things for Stone Killer are available for TMRs and STMRs. And Demon is just like Human. It's kind of a joke. This is the first time in forever we haven't actually had Human that we needed to get for the week, so it's kind of funny. But you can go after a Crucifying Coercion from Scorn of Ashura, Demon Killer Plus from Belphegor, Demon Eater Sense from Gloomwing, Mask of Ashura, Force Mysterion. All really good Demon Killer options if you're looking for ways to kind of shore up your Demon Killer, which might be useful for you in the upcoming event. So that's really the news. And I said this on stream tonight. I went over all the news and stuff on stream. And I then decided not to actually play the game. Usually we go after a clear to kind of show you how to get some Demon Killer or some Stone Killer, some Beast Killer. Use a team that's we're kind of budgety and go after something. But I just really didn't feel like it. The other thing I really wanted to do on stream tonight was work on my Clash of Wills score. But because of this right here, this issue report, which I'm not gonna go into just yet, I decided not to do Clash of Wills, and instead I went on a rant. And so here's some things that I'm having some frustration with in the game right now. One is just inconsistency. So there's a lot of inconsistency in the game in terms of like how the game responds to perceived issues and like what they even decide is an issue. There's a lot of inconsistency in what they bring over from JP. There's a lot of inconsistency in the prices. There's a lot of inconsistency and just a lot of things about the game. And as somebody who just kind of likes to plan ahead and prepare and like, I don't know, make good choices with the resources I have, the inconsistency is killing me. Case in point right here, this Clash of Wills bulletin. So the one that they gave us, I'm gonna make it a little bigger on the screen. Here we go. The one that they gave us last week, an issue occurred where all Reaper type enemies were susceptible to the effects of the ability Revive Parasite Eve, including the boss in Clash of Wills, Dog Spirit of Unknown Origin. It's a Reaper enemy, so it's susceptible. Note that this behavior was not intended and the issue has been resolved. We'll be providing further updates regarding this issue soon. We apologize for the inconvenience and thank you for your understanding. So they said, oops, that wasn't intended. Don't do that, right? And so then they update us with this today. We've determined that this issue may have affected the rankings in Clash of Wills, the event currently open, and for this reason, the interest of fairness will be resetting the scores and progress of all players during the maintenance. Note that your completion rewards will not reset. All players will receive Lapis and Clash of Wills Restore as a compensation, and we apologize for the inconvenience. On the one hand, they're acknowledging that there is an issue, they're fixing an issue. But like, this one is so minor, right? Players were able to use a skill on accident that would kill the boss, and they decided that wasn't fair, so they're fixing it. On the other hand, a year ago, last Halloween, the boss was able to be killed with rays, and they decided, we're going to let this one go. Even though people could use it to do the same thing, they could use it to kill the boss in one shot. They could use it to even rank 1 if you had the ability to do enough damage. You could just lock up the boss's AI and have it just sit there and do nothing while you build up. And like it made the boss, that affected the rankings, and they didn't do anything about it. Cheating in Dark Visions affects the rankings, and they don't do anything about it. Last month's Clash of Wills was basically unbeatable for players who didn't have Melissa, and they didn't do anything about it or identify, oh, this was an issue, or oh, the Rondo skills working backwards, or the bug issue where Elena covers sometimes and doesn't cover sometimes because of frame rates on your devices is an issue, or the issue with the ailment modifier, like making you basically unable to protect yourself against status ailments. Like they never said any of that was an oops, even though they're all very clear oopses and things that were worth touching rather than oops, a time limited unit is too good. It's killing bosses on accident. Like we have to fix that. We can't fix all these other glaring problems or even identify, you're right, that was an issue, or we should look at that. They can't even acknowledge that. That's inconsistency, right? Killing me. So I was going to play Clash of Wills tonight on stream. I was going to work on it live with my community. We were going to have some fun. And I decided because I'm going to have to redo my score anyway, I'm going to have to redo my ranking. It would not be worth my time to play this game tonight. And so I didn't. I turned it off. I turned it off on stream. And I went and played something else because it was not worth the effort and the time since I'm going to have to do it again. And that's a crying shame to me. As somebody who enjoys playing this game, as somebody who enjoys making content and playing it live with people, for me to just turn it off, like, I think that's a big deal. I don't think I'm important compared to any player. I don't think I'm more important than anybody else, but I think it's a big deal that anybody would just decide, I'm just not going to play this game because I'm going to have to do it again later. Like, that's a big deal. And the fact that it's so inconsistent, right, is a big deal to me. So, again, inconsistency. In JP, all these Dragonquest units got enhancements, and we're not getting them here. We skip events, we skip content, we skip upgrades, we skip equipment, we skip quests, we skip for what? You know, it's just inconsistency. Sometimes you get stuff, sometimes you don't. Makes it really hard to know whether or not you should pull or not pull, or chase after something, or, you know, plan for something, or You know, I know somebody who really likes to think far ahead and think, oh, I'm going to get this unit and this unit and this unit, and it's going to be a really good team and work really well together. Even like thinking, okay, like I can put this global unit together with this, and like this combination of stuff's going to be really, really good. And like even they are like, I don't even know what to pull for anymore because I never know what's going to happen. It's obnoxious. The other thing that's really frustrating me right now is the reality that we had Chow last week. Now we got Dragonquest Dai. There's usually, you know, a lot of time limited stuff in November and December. And then January is kind of a freebie. And then like February again for Lunar New Year. Like we're in a time period again. This is nothing new. But the back to back exclusive time limited units. It's overwhelming and it's draining, and yeah, I'm over it. And then the reality, just the lack of anything to do. I mean, we've got a farming event this week, and I've broken Clash of Wills. The week before, it was like one EX fight and a raid, or a King Mog, and then the week before that, it was like a raid and something else. And you know, there was one week several weeks ago where there was like tons and tons of stuff, but they couldn't just spread some of that out and like make some of these weeks better. Like, and now we're going into another week. There's just a farming event. Oh, there's also story content. So you've got to spend your Lapis or your energy on story content and farming event that costs energy. And you got to use Clash of Wills orbs because you're probably only going to have one more week of that left. Yeah, it does sound like you got a lot to do, but it's really not. It's just farming. It's really just farming. And that's just a shame. I think it's a shame. Give us something challenging that's like actually going to give a reward that people care about. That's really, I mean, it's a lot. I think it's a lot to be frustrated about. I'm not like quitting the game over it, but it's just annoying. It's annoying, like the inconsistency, like in what they identify as unfair versus what they have to address right away versus what they can even acknowledge as a problem. Clash of Wills last month being completely busted unless you had the perfect setup of units. Like, no, you need to acknowledge that. Stop messing with your players. Okay. Like I said, I'm not quitting the game over it, but it makes me lose motivation to play. I didn't even want to play it tonight, so I played something else. Barely even wanted to put this video together, except for the fact that I did want to say those things, because I think it's worth saying. Go get you some Stone Beast and Demon Killer. Get ready for a Dragon Quest farming event. Good luck on your 5 daily summons. I'm probably going to record them just to string together my daily summons and prove once again that the rates are bad, because I guarantee you I'm going to get like 2 Neobs the whole time in 100 pulls. I probably, I should get 5. I'm probably going to get 2. Prove me wrong. I'd love to see it. I'd love to be proven wrong there. And if I do get more than 2, it'll be like, here's your 19th Soul Neo Vision. But it is what it is. But yeah, hey, we're done. Be good to each other. Take care. We'll see you on Thursday.